When you're using the room area tool, you'll note that initially when you look at a floor plan like this, that you get to see what's basically called the tags here. And as you kind of roll over the room, you might notice that there's a cross that goes through the room, and then there's like a rectangle. A lot of times you might want the room area element to show up a little bit better. So what we're going to do is fix that right now. And the best way to do that is to type in VG for visibility graphics. You can also pick it up off of properties and come over here to visibility graphics and go to edit. So there's shortcut keys a little bit faster because it's a little easier to remember. What we want to do is take a look at a category visibility called rooms. And you'll see it here in the visibility column. And you'll see rooms is indicated. Click on the little plus. And you'll notice that we have color fill, but we don't have interior fill. Go ahead and click on interior fill and then press OK. What happens now is that in this view, with this setting under visibility graphics, our rooms will always be shown on. If you want to change that, you just go back to VG again, go back to rooms and turn it off. That's basically all you have to do. In most cases, when working with rooms, it's kind of a nice idea to keep interior fill on. So we're going to keep it on for the time being. The next thing is that when you bring in a room, you might remember that bringing in a room, it's room bounding. In other words, it's looking for walls and things of that nature to kind of confine itself to an area. Like here you see it's looking up in this larger space. Over here it's looking for a space. So any one of these confined rooms, it's going to go just fine. It's when you get out over here where you run into a problem. And you'll see that this room is a lot bigger because it's taking up all this space too. So how do we solve that? Especially if we want the lobby here and we want a reception area shown, what do we use? Well, there's what's called the room separator tool. And what this does is it just makes a boundary possible for the room tool to be used. So we're going to come in over here, kind of zoom in, and I'm going to pick a point off of this column and then just come straight down. And I'm going to hit modify. And what you're going to see here is a line. And if you click on that line and you look over at properties, it's not actually a line. It's called a room separation element. So it kind of knows, Revit does, what it is. So if I come back over here now and pick up room, notice how what happens because of that separator line, it's blocking me from going into the other areas of the room. The other thing is, so I'll just kind of swing over here and we'll take a look at this area, because when you use room separators, you have drawing tools. So you're not confined to just doing verticals and horizontal lines. You can actually come in and use something like start and radius. I'll just kind of zoom in over here, pick a spot there, pick another spot there, and I'll just kind of bring that in. And now this is a separated room, so I can actually bring in the room tool here as well. So you can see that the tool has lots of potential to work things. Now, one of the things that happens in a lot of offices are workstations, and you might want to create some doing that way. So we're going to take the room separator tool, and I'm going to zoom in on this column here. And notice that one of the things about the tool is that you can dimension it. So if I want to make this 8 feet and then come over 8 feet, I can go ahead and do that, and it will act just like anything else. The other thing that I can do is I can use copy as well. So if I come in here and click on this one and hit the control key and basically accumulate these, you see right here I got those 3. I can pick up copy, make sure the multiple elements is on. Then I'll come over here and I can make a group of them. So the room separator tool can be used to go ahead and create additional rooms. And now each one of these is actually separate. And I can come in here and plunk in rooms like so. So basically that separator tool is a very useful tool when you don't have room bounding elements like walls or doors or other things. You can go ahead and use the room separation tool to do the necessary work for you. Now, one other thing we're going to take a look at is that when you do room elements like this, you'll notice here that one of the things we talked about when you look at a room is that they had also volume. Let's take a look at this group of rooms right here. There is a section tool. I'm going to click on the head here real quick, and it brings me right into an elevation section. And you'll notice that the rooms themselves actually show. So you have a height issue here. If you click on this, it too, just like a mass element, can be manipulated either up or down. And you can see here that it can be moved. You can also come over here to limit offset and put in something like 12 feet. So I'll go ahead and put that in and hit apply, and that brings it right up to the deck. So you can use that room element tool to determine volume or maybe ceiling height or whatever else that you need to do.